Baltimore Ravens versus Washington football team. Let me hit you with projections here. Just a reminder, David and I record these on Monday mornings, so the Monday night football game has not happened for us yet. So if we're talking about a start for Baltimore Raven who got injured or something goofy like that, we just don't know about it because it hasn't happened. We can't look into the future. So, the folks out there on YouTube that are like, oh, you should start so-and-so. I'm sorry, we just don't know yet. But anyway, let me hit you with the projections. Lamar Jackson, start. I actually don't have a great grade on the running backs this week, although we saw what Cleveland did against Washington. They stuck with the run. Baltimore is going to do the same thing. I don't have the greatest grades on anybody else other than Mark Andrews, but here's how I see it. The computer projections generally reward a good defense. I've been saying Washington's defense is legit. I think they're very good. Rockobot, the fantasy football projection stats say this is going to be a lower scoring game. I personally do not believe that. I think the Ravens exceed expectations. I think Ingram is a definite start, even though the projections don't like him. I think Marquise Brown is a definite start, and Andrews already was graded as start anyway. For Washington, I don't like anybody on this team this week against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm sorry, Washington. Haskins is a bottom 5 quarterback in the league, possibly bottom 3, maybe even bottom 1. I mean, he is so bad. And the scheme is there. I think they're entirely well coached. You can see McLaurin. It drives me crazy. You see McLaurin run a post or a corner or anything like that. He's got 2 yards of separation in the end zone, and Haskins overthrows him. It happens once a game. McLaurin could be, I'm not going to say he's at DK Metcalf level, but McLaurin is a legit wide receiver 2, possibly wide receiver 1 discussion, but he doesn't have a quarterback that can get him the ball. Same deal with Logan Thomas. It's happening to him too. I like these guys moving forward, but not against the Baltimore defense. What do you think, David?
I think you're right. Terry McLaurin is a sit against the Baltimore Ravens. Everybody on the Washington team, you're sitting him. And yes, Terry McLaurin, even if your other options aren't great, just sit him because this Ravens D is a buzzsaw. And we might not see it tonight against the Kansas City Chiefs. It might not be blatantly apparent.
Right.
They might look somewhat average. But in any other game against any other team in the NFL, this is a great defense, and I just think they're going to tear the Redskins apart, which is why I'm kind of flip-flop with you on the Mark Ingram train. I like him tonight against the Chiefs because I think he's going to matter more in those close games where they're going to have to fight for their wins and they're going to want to go with the veteran. But I think they showed us early in the season when they're winning, they don't want to use Mark Ingram. Like, I was off him completely this year, and I still am. I'd like him tonight, but next week against the Redskins, it screams a J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards matchup for me where Mark Ingram gets maybe he gets in the end zone early, but I don't see him playing much in the second half, if at all. I think we're going to see J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards both top 10 touches in this Washington football team matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, fair points for sure. I don't really have a strong argument either way. For me, Mark Andrews, it of course, it always depends on what you have on your roster behind him. I would have a hard time benching him against Washington. I know they're going to want to run quick passes and everything, but again, agree to disagree there. Washington, big storyline. Chase Young goes out with a groin injury. I mean, that's like pulling a hammy. We'll see how bad that is, but that really hurt Washington in terms of depth against Cleveland. And we knew going in, we said last week, we knew Cleveland was going to try to slam Nick Chubb against the wall and see what would happen. And he broke through in that second half. He was doing fine in the first half, but really was getting chunk yardage in the second half, which is what they do. Tough matchup for Washington. Let me hit you with the line here. Bovada has Baltimore minus 14 against Washington. What do you think?
Say that again?
Minus 14. And Washington's a good defense.
I'm taking the Ravens. 14 though. Oof.
Yeah,
they don't have a lot of respect for the football team, that's for sure.
Yeah, this offense isn't great to go against a Baltimore defense. There's just no way. I don't like that. I mean, that line's big. I usually never lay more than touchdown, but this is one honestly I'm thinking about taking. Assuming everybody's healthy, we'll look at the injury reports later in the week. I'll take Baltimore minus 14 in this. I don't love it, but when I was writing down my
Assuming
score,
everyone's healthy, they could be starting RG3 at quarterback. I might take the 14-point spread here.
Hey, man, you know what? RG3 is the perfect backup for that team. I'm telling you, like I would take that too. Honestly, 14 minus 14. It's just I don't see how Washington scores against this team. They're going to try to run the ball with Gibson, and I like Gibson. I like McLaurin. I like Logan Thomas. Like Washington has talent, just not at quarterback, and you need talent at quarterback to cover spread against the Ravens. Just how it is.